Órale! Bienvenidos and welcome to the Familia FFB podcast. We've got a special NFL Draft Rookie Spotlight, Familia. Hope you enjoyed that. But first, please make sure you're giving us a like and subscribe on YouTube. Go to Familia FFB, give that thumbs up, por favor. All right, let's get into it.
Bijan Robinson. I mean, people are talking about him in the same sense that they talked about Saquon Barkley. I've even better version of Josh Jacobs, who was a 2,000-yard player last year. Everything about him screams special. What have been the traits that you are looking at that is really going to translate to the NFL game, especially if he's a guy who could get 300 catches, including catches?
Yeah. Man, it's tough not to just start gushing about literally everything a good running back can do, because Bijan does everything very, very well. Coming into last year, I think the one knock was, well, he doesn't have long speed, and then he showed a lot of breakaway speed, and I think he's going to run just fine for a 220-pound back. And so now when you're looking at his profile, he's got the ability to create yards, and he does it in a variety of ways because he's so elusive, but he runs with power. There are times that you would wish he would run with a little more power, but it doesn't end up mattering because he is so elusive. Lateral agility is there for him. Burst is there for him. And then the pass catching aspect of it is really remarkable. You can line Bijan up in the slot and he runs routes like he's a wide receiver. And he's not just, catching dump offs or anything like that. This kid is a weapon. And that is why he is very much so separate. He's in his own tier. There are a lot of really good running backs in the class. We already talked about that, but Bijan still is in his own tier. The Saquon Barkley comparisons, that makes sense to me. I mean, Bijan's the closest thing we've seen to Saquon. I don't think he's quite as special of an athlete, but I also think he's more nuanced and understands the game a little bit better. And his work between the tackles is a little bit better than Saquon's was even coming out. And so you're looking at a guy that can be a 3-down workhorse and an immediate, he should be in dynasty formats considered at least a top 3 running back before the draft, before we know his landing spot.
Oh man, pretty comfortable taking him as the 101 in dynasty. Are you?
Yeah, he's my one. And part of that is, he's going to be a young kid he's getting drafted in the first round, I think. And so you're getting at least 5 years from him, which is that matters nowadays, especially when most of these guys are getting 4-year deals. And then his second contract, he'll still be young. So yeah, he's the one for sure.
Could he be that salve or that I don't even know what to call it for Eagles fans if they lose Miles Sanders and they're sitting there, they've got a high draft pick this year that they got in. Would that be just an extraordinary landing spot?
It would. To think of a backfield with Jalen Hurts and Bijan Robinson is terrifying. And a lot of people point to Howie Roseman doesn't really draft running backs and he doesn't value that position. But this Eagles team is legitimately one piece like this away from being a dynasty. They're going to have to pay Jalen Hurts. They don't really have the cap to bring back Miles Sanders if that's the case. And so why not invest in easily the best running back prospect we've seen since at least 2018. And just that takes your offense to another level.
Yeah, he talking about another level. He made a play that I was watching some tape on him, and he made a play where it was on. He ran a route that probably about 20 yards out. It was against Alabama. Turns around, does a 180 catch. You know which one I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, sure do. Yeah.
Catches it, gets his feet, turns around, just does not break stride, hardly loses any speed, and he takes it another extra 10 yards. That's something you don't teach. That's like, alien type of stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. And, it keeps coming back to Saquon. Saquon was a good pass catcher too, but I don't even think he had the ability to run routes and get downfield quite like Bijan can. You legitimately, like if a team that had a running back entrenched drafted Bijan and said, well, we have to figure out a way to get him on the field, he could be your slot receiver, I think, at the next level. I think he's got that ability, and you don't see that with running backs, especially nowadays.
I hope you enjoyed that NFL Draft Rookie Spotlight, Familia.
You never know. One of those players might help you win your league. And while you're at it, start drafting on Underdog. Use that promo code Familia23. We're going to match you your first $100 on your initial deposit. It's best ball. Underdog, they do it better than anybody else. Use that promo code Familia23. Draft and keep drafting on best ball all the way up to the kickoff of the 2023 NFL season. And we're a proud member of the Fantasy Points Media Group. Get your 2023 subscription at fantasypoints.com. It's going to take you all the way to the 2024 Super Bowl with incredible fantasy football content. Bueno, eso es todo for our show. Make sure you're going to YouTube. Give Familia FFB a like and subscribe. Really appreciate it. Muchas gracias. Salud.